All right, so I want to talk about the teens in this video. So 11 to 19, because those are some tricky numbers. And kind of the whole reason I wanted to start doing these math videos was based on something that happened in class the other day. So we were at math centers, and there were a group of students, and they were all writing their numbers down. And they were working on, 10 to 20. And some of the students were doing this. Um, okay, well, here's 13, here's 14, here's 15. And I said, okay, so I stopped myself there. I was like, okay, obviously that's not right, but why are they doing that? Why do they think that that's, 13? And it could be they just don't know what it looks like. But it kind of got me thinking that they don't actually really understand what those numbers are. So if we talk about the teens quickly, they're the hardest numbers for a kid. Now, we have to take our thinking back down to what would a 4-year-old think? Well, if they hear 14, they hear the 4 first. So they're going to put down the 4 first, and then a 1. Same with 16. The 6 comes first, so they're going to put the 6 down first, and then the 1. They know there's a 1 there somewhere, but they really don't understand what that means. So that really got me thinking that, okay, they don't know what the digits look like, but the digits really, that's just the abstract, that's just the representation of that number. What does 13 or 14 or 15 actually look like? So, got me thinking, and I've come up with a couple of things I want to share with you that you can do at home and that we're going to do in the classroom to really kind of help improve the understanding of those tricky teens. All right, so we're going to work with the number 13. What does 13 look like to a kid? Well, aside from this example, 13 would normally look like this, right? That's what they think 13 is. But do they actually understand what that represents? So I'm going to introduce you to something called a reckon rec, which is a weird name, but it's also another name for a number rack. And it's kind of like an abacus. Okay, so this is just a website. I typed in online reckon rec. I'll link it down below. And this is a really good tool for kids to use in order to get them to understand more about what numbers actually look like. So let's get them out of the habit of just having that visual representation of 13 being that numeral. What does 13 actually look like? So I really like this because you can add rows, and you can take away rows. So you could just start with 1, and you can work with different ways of making 10, but because this video is going to be about the teens, let's get 2 rows here. So I'm going to do another video more specific about like why the colors are like that and some different ideas you can do with this tool. But 13, they don't understand what that 1 means, and they don't know what that 3 means. Now we know, because we know about place value, that that 1 actually represents 110. And then that 3 actually represents 3 ones. So if we pull this over, we want to get kids thinking that the teen numbers are 10 and some more, because we want them to start understanding what that 1 actually represents. And that 1 is actually 10. So we're going to pull over 10 because we know that there's 10 beads on each rack. Okay? And then we're going to pull over 3 more. Okay? So that's one way that you can show 13. So 10 and 3 more. All right, let's do 15. I'm sure you can realize really quickly why 5 of them are red and 5 of them are white, kind of like the fingers on our hands. There's always 5 there, so we don't need to count. So 15, that 1 represents 1 group of 10, and that 5 represents 5 ones. So let's bring it back here. Now I'm going to link below a website that you can download these. They're called place value cards. And to me, they're really, really cool. So like I said before, we'll take our thinking back down to a 4 and 5 year old's brain for a second. 13. What does that look like? Well, they see a 1 and a 3. And that can get kind of confusing because once we start getting into like addition and subtraction more so, then they're going to think 1 and 3. Wait, I thought that was 4. Like, why? What is 13? So that's where these awesome place value cards come into place. So instead of doing, actually, just give me one sec. I'm going to make a new one. Okay, sorry, I just had to make a new little picture here. So 13, if we have these cards out and we asked a kid to show us what 13 looked like, sorry, one sec. They're probably going to go like this. 1 and 3 make 13. Well, no, 1 and 3 don't make 13. That makes 4. I mean, visually, yes, it is a 1 and a 3, but what does that 1 actually represent? Well, we know that that 1 represents 10. So, instead of that, we're going to go like this. We're going to have 10 and 3. So just like we had with our Rec and Rec, we have 10 ones, so one group of 10, and 3 more. Together makes 13. Now this is really cool because this shows you 13, 1, and 3. But in the corner here, you see what that number actually represents. So if you pull that card away, you still see that there's 10 there, but you're adding 3 more to it, which makes 13. And the link that I'm going to post below with these cards that you can actually download, on the back of them, it's cool because it actually has the representation of what those numbers look like more like concretely. So it has like the picture of these 10 and these 3. So I don't know if that was like confusing or whatnot, but it really got me thinking that when these kids are writing numbers, they're writing them incorrectly, but more importantly, they don't understand what these numbers actually mean. What does it look like? So there's tons of things you can do at home. Grab a pile of buttons and show them 13, and you can use these place value cards. There's the Rec and Rec online that you can use just to get them exploring, those teen numbers, because for 4, 5, and 6-year-olds, they can be really confusing. So I hope this just kind of got you thinking a little bit. It sure got me thinking when this happened the other day, and I'm excited to start working with kids more about this and start developing that understanding of place value and what the digits actually represent within the whole number.